Hi all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Topic that we'll be looking at today is difference between over-the-counter and exchange-traded derivatives. So it is not really from any of the papers, but it is a very prerequisite requirement for FRM candidates to know the difference between OTC and exchange-traded derivatives so that they can do well in the paper 3. So let's have a look at the differences between over-the-counter and exchange-traded or non-OTC derivatives. Before we go ahead, please, I would request you to subscribe to my channel, like and comment to my videos and share with your peers as well. So let's have a look at the differences between over-the-counter and non-over-the-counter derivatives. So as name suggests, these are traded over the counter and these are traded over the exchange. So any two parties, mostly the parties are big banks, or one party is bank, other party could be hedge fund or any other financial institution. They come together. I mean, two parties come together. They make some agreement based on their requirement, like they need some loan 5 years down the line. Like, I mean, I'm referring to the forward rate agreement at certain rate, so they can do some agreement and trade over the counter. Whereas in the non-OTC derivatives, between these two party, exchange act as an intermediary. So there is a middleman called as exchange, because of which there is more transparency. Like though parties may not know each other, but there is a less credit risk when these non-OTC derivatives comes to the picture as compared to the over-the-counter derivatives, we where uh, parties are exposed to the good amount of credit risk. And as name suggests, it is over the counter. I mean, you can customize your trade based on the your actual requirement, whereas this is non over the counter derivatives where we have got a standard trade. I mean, if you had to trade option, I mean, you have very chosen strike prices on which you can buy or sell the option. Whereas in this case, it's OTC derivatives, so you can have the strike price of your choice. So in a layman, if I were to explain this, this is like tailor made. You are going to a tailor, you are asking to make clothes as per your choice. I mean, you are asking to tweak some requirement based on what you need. Whereas in the standard, it's like buying a ready-made cloth where something is readily available. You have to compromise on some of your requirements if you buy from this market. And there is low liquidity and transparency, as given the parties are there are two parties which are doing a trade. So it may not, if party has to exit, it may not be really that easy. Or I mean, if that is easy also, then it may be a very lost situation wherein party wants to exit. So there is very low liquidity and transparency is also low. Usually valuing these kinds of uh, customized product, customized rates is a bit of challenge. Whereas in the exchange traded, it's very highly liquid market, and there is a lot of transparency what is happening in the buy sell, or you can see the volume that is getting traded on the exchange. These are less regulated. Of course, there are regulations, but these are I mean, relatively less regulated compared to the exchange traded or non-OTC derivatives. So these are highly regulated because exchange is an intermediary between these two. And in this case, OTC parties who do trade amongst them, they know each other. Say, for example, Bank X and Bank Y, or Bank X and Y mutual fund, hedge fund, they know each other. I mean, the parties who are doing a trade. Whereas in this case, as exchange is an intermediary, you will not know your counterparty. So there is, so for you, the counterparty would be exchange. So the they do not know the counterparties in the non-OTC, because exchange is an intermediary, whereas in OTC, the counterparties know each other. And lastly, in the over-the-counter trades, there is a good amount of credit risk, as there are just two parties who are doing a trade, and if the counterparty defaults, then you are exposed to the credit risk, wherein the exchange the credit risk is very low, as exchange is an intermediary. So that's the last point which perhaps I will emphasize on, which is very crucial. Hope you like the video. If yes, please do like, share with your peers. Thank you for watching. Stay connected. Thank you.